Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight and neck head straight in one line in your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound, and while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra, just follow the sound please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes for ourselves to understand how this practice will help for us to develop our spiritual path. So when it comes to our conventional life, it is very important to know that whatever our bodily, verbally, and mentally actions has a connections with the action, reactions, and result. So that itself creates a foundation for us, and it creates a path for us to move forward. And no one can deny, no one can escape from their own feedback of their own actions. So when it comes towards us, sometimes we think it is the power of something else, or maybe other people or other things. But most of time, if we look very carefully, our mind is the epicenter of this all. So each and every person experience their life related to deeper their mind. So whatever happening in mind is very important to know yourself. So how things happen in our mind, it's one of the major important thing is the repetition. So always our thoughts, our desires, our habits become powerful because of the repetition, not because of something else or somebody else. So if you don't repeat any action, it becomes powerless. But sometimes we can't just stay without doing that repetition. So then what we can do? So the very first thing we need to know something to replace for our action. Otherwise, we just can't stop it. So that is where you have to remember and you have to know, you have to have a kind of like higher purpose in this very lifetime to move forward and to become more better person. So when you think like that, to become a more better person, even in the conventional level or to gain some kind of spiritual development, so whatever you already keep doing is not enough maybe. Because If it is enough, then you should already have that. So then you have to remember there may be something else you have to add to yourself. Or at the same time, whatever keep doing, or maybe whatever we have already with us, not capable to bring the necessary result. So always we have to look into deeper inside, and at the same time you have to remember the very intention of your thoughts. Because when it comes to the mind, that is the most important part you have to recognize, intention. But intention is covered by many layers. Sometimes we can't see it. It's kind of like a dusty, cloudy environment. We can't see it. So then again and again, again and again, if you purify your thoughts, then you gain the clarity to see your own mind and deeper the intention that you carry within yourself. And there are things that happening within us, we didn't see it. But sometimes with the comfort of the experience, we settle down there and we keep repeating again and again and again. But beyond that, we have no effort to look and recognize. So that's why practicing meditation is important, because it gives the opportunity to go beyond that, your comfort zone. Go beyond that, what you experience in the moment. That is true. It is very necessary, but there is something happens beyond that what you experience. So then moment by moment, bringing the clarity and bringing the effort to deeply observe, analyze, recognize, help you to slowly detach from your own moment of repetition of thoughts and get into the moment of new experience. So then when it comes to tranquility state of mind, so in the beginning, remember, that is what we do. So step by step, we develop the tranquility state. So you have to have some effort for that, because our mind always here and there and jumping to many desires and many mental objects. So now slowly you bring it to one thing. And when it comes to that one thing, that whatever the mental object, it should be always related to the present moment. Otherwise, again, maybe it can jump to imagination. So that's why we get the sensation of inhalation, exhalation. But the moment of sensation, that what you experience, if you keep observe, it's not there, it will take you to something else. So that's mean on the surface level, even though we see things, beyond that, there is another layer. So in the moment that what you experience as sensation, if you keep observe, when the mind becomes sharp and clear, it take you to more different level. So then within this eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, the same. So to go into that, one of the important things that you have to have the effort. But we have the effort, but sometimes it go into the wrong direction. Where the effort go wrong. So today we are going to talk about that little bit. Always from childhood, we have the effort. We put our energy. We put our intention. But if you look very carefully, this our effort or our intention deeply governed by invisible ghost. So that ghost is the fear. Fear and insecurity. So the most of people practice spirituality or practice meditation because of the fear or because of the insecurity. And sometimes even maybe regarding this lifetime, regarding the health, or regarding the mental condition, or regarding the death, or regarding the detachment, and or sometimes it regarding the sansaric journey, and maybe you are afraid, you have the fear for sansaric journey. And then because of that, you maybe start to do meditation. So when it comes to fear and insecurity, sometimes there is a healthy fear, healthy insecurity. But when it comes to the wisdom pattern, there's nothing to do with the healthy or unhealthy. If you have the fear, insecurity, it will never going to take you to any positive level of result. Maybe in our conventional life, you can see, you can reason the result as good. But when it comes to deeper our mind, always remember, if you have the fear and insecurity, it will never going to take you to some kind of spiritual success. So basically, our conventional life we build up. Always we have the fear for something. Every day from the preschool to all the schooling, educational system to work and our day-to-day family life, our social life, look area, it's kind of like invisible, but it is there. It's like a shadow behind, you can't see, and even sometimes you don't want to look it. It's kind of like somebody behind you, you don't want to look over your shoulder because that ghost is, the fear is there. Only thing is you keep forward and keep running. But you have to remember, that's the very nature of this conventional life. And insecurity, it always for the next moment. You have no idea what will happen and how it's going to happen. And you will never come to a kind of like a moment to have complete satisfaction with any situation in your day-to-day life, because whatever that you think, it's not going to happen there. But we have in a nature, because of it happened to us, because of that, again, rather than understanding that nature, we always go against that nature. So again and again, we build up this preconditioned mind regarding tomorrow. Planning. We know whatever the plans we did, it didn't work. Then what happened? We maximize the way we plan, rather than understanding the very nature. Why that things not happen the way we want or the way we think? Because one thing is this cause and effect. It's not a kind of like something that what we think. Maybe there are a lot of things we can't see, but it is help to happen that whatever the event we want, it contributes something to that event. So maybe we don't see that. And in that way, the whatever we plan ahead, not going to work. And other things, our plans or our imagination always depend on our past experience. We are so biased. We are so bound to. We are so limited to our past experience with our own thoughts and imagination. So with the limited imagination, you can't experience this unlimited nature. So with the limited thoughts, you can't experience this unlimited life. Because when the life happens in that very moment, you can't limit it. It's kind of like this, but when it comes to our mind, it's become very limited. As example, when a painter or artist, when they draw the picture on canvas, it's still kind of like an unfinished work. And somehow, once it frame and come to the wall, it becomes just a piece of art. So, but that artist, when it has the unfinished mode of it, it's kind of like this universe. It has no limits, and it can come with many other things. But once it framed, that is it. So whatever happened in your life, it's kind of like you are drawing a picture. But how about once it comes to your thoughts, it's kind of like you frame that piece of art. That's it. So that limited thoughts, what it does. So the limited thoughts, the thoughts are there, but when you use that thought, you become very limited, and the limited thoughts build up a boundary for you. So then again and again in day-to-day life, if you look very carefully, what we do, we just become comfortable, or we just try to find the balance with the boundaries within ourselves and within the society, culture, tradition, believing system, following system, all the religions, that everything. When you be with that most of time, you just deal with boundaries. But when it comes to meditation, this is a method, you come out of boundaries. So for that, you have to have one of very clear, strong mindset. So that why very first level, we develop tranquility state. And the other one is the insecurity. And always mind build up a pattern, format, model, structure. Why it happen like that? If you look very carefully, most of time with our day-to-day life, our eyes always follow the pictures that everything has a structure, pattern, method. So we don't want to go out of that pattern. So your mind now means all the pictures mean what? That all the patterns that you saw is in you, inside you. So now you can't kind of like even think out of the patterns. Why? Because you build up your life using the patterns. So that's why the universe or the life itself, the very next moment itself doesn't have any pattern, but you already build up with patterns and you develop a mental frame, format to move forward. And then you always have a fear to let go that pattern you build up about life or about things inside your mind. This insecurity always leads us to hold it to something, hold it to something. That's why sometimes the emptiness or the freedom, newness, adaptivity, flexibility, we can't digest, we can't recognize, we can't absorb, because so much we adapt to or addicted to patterns and methods. But when it comes to the present moment, little by little, slowly releasing that, all the patterns, methods, then in the present moment, you are capable to settle down with the balance. And then you gain the security. But remember, we have inner nature always hold it to something. So that's why we slowly replace that our posture as the very safe mood for our mind to settle down. So when you develop a good posture, it deeply gives you comfort and trust for yourself to let go all the patterns, the methods you develop in you with this outside world. And other one is the primary mental object. Once you recognize the object very clearly, you can be with it very comfortably. So in that way, you are capable to slowly release this outside object and the pictures or the colors or the patterns or the methods. So then give a try little by little yourself to be very clear and develop a skill to have a very good posture yourself when you practice meditation. Another thing is seeing a very clear primary mental object. Again and again, develop it and be with it. So in that way, you are capable to gain the very good tranquility mind. So once you have tranquility mind, from there you can go deeper into Vipassana level. So in the Vipassana level, the very moment of experience you take, and now anymore you are not biased to your own experience, and that is where you can investigate it. That is why you can see your own experience to know how it come to be as it is. And that is where you can recognize it's always depending from something. Even though it appears as something, it is not there. It is a reflection of another thing. So then layer by layer, with the sharp mind, when you go deeper, then you recognize this all arise because of the emptiness. And deeply in our mind form, feeling, perception, volition, and recognition, this all arise in the middle of emptiness. And at the same time, anything is not solid, concrete experience, that everything interconnected and changing moment by moment and giving this experience. So in that way, you are not bound to what you experience. You are not going to become a bias to that moment of experience. You are not holding, or you are not building up a structure out of your moment of experience. So that conscious experience, that conscious experiment itself will take you to the next level of understanding. So that is the moment of transformation. So it is a step-by-step process. So somehow, always remember in your life, never get into something, never start something. It doesn't matter outside layer, whatever good, but never get into anything with the fear and insecurity. Always remember this, everything change moment by moment, moment by moment. But this fear and insecurity always come out of the preconditioned mind, or when you depending from your past experience. And when you always try to deal with the very limited thoughts to this unlimited universe, and have the freedom inside you, knowingly, your very next moment is a very brand new moment, and at the same time, you are capable to go with any situation. So in that way, you build up some kind of confidence and have the freedom and ready to be with the emptiness. So next moment is empty. And then rather than go with your limited thoughts, if you go with empty mind, then you can deal with the life. So remember that your next moment is empty, and our foreground is empty universe. But whatever from our background, this collected thoughts, very limited thoughts, if we bring it and put it to our foreground, this unlimited foreground, it always going to become limited. So out of that, we gain the fear and insecurity. So then what you need to do, the very bottom level of mind, you have the emptiness and you have the freedom. You are capable to gain the newness. So don't go with these limited thoughts to your next moment. Go with your empty mind. And that is where you harness with the unlimited universe. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck, head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. And take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge in this moment with this sitting, May my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. When it happens through the sensation, recognize it. Do nothing extra. Bring attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. And to your left side. To your right side. Downward. And upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun. Spread the light to spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation. without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chamni sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhamma nudhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.